Hey, good morning, experienced team coaches. Wanted to get a chance to check in with you guys. This week's huddle is a little different and probably going to be a little extended because I wanted to give you some information specifically about a new shift that we're adding as an extra component of connection and inclusion and integration in our kind of experienced team umbrella, which includes cafe, hosts, next steps, first impressions, basically everybody in our experience kind of umbrella that is what we're kind of referring to in some of the information obviously will be for everybody, but really more specifically for what we're calling kind of the back of the house kind of pieces. Our auditorium team is kind of the front of house piece where that having some specific and very unique roles for the experienced team each weekend on their component. But one of the things that we've recognized is we've heard from several of you guys and some of your team members even as well, just the conversation about how do we uh, kind of what is our processes on Sunday morning, especially for our groups that don't necessarily have 2-minute drills, who are not gathering kind of on a weekend basis. How do we make the most of that to build energy, cast vision, make sure everybody's on the same page in that way? And then also as a part of that, that same kind of feeling of as other groups are doing kind of their monthly team gatherings, how do we kind of initiate that, be a part of that if our team is smaller, things like that. And so we have kind of, Pastor Lewis and I have kind of been connecting and talking with Scooter Carson, one of our host team coach, and just kind of starting to think through how can we make our Sunday experiences as well as our monthly team gatherings the most effective and most engaging possible to really kind of create the community and also the connectedness as well as the preparation that we're all looking for that will continue to just make what we're doing so effective. And you guys, we really believe that God has been just so faithful and so incredible in these last 4 months as we've launched this new location. And you guys are doing an amazing, incredible job. And the purpose of our conversation is not necessarily to say what's going wrong, but really more what can we add as an extra layer of community, connection, preparation that would be just life-giving to all of our teams. And so one of the things that we've kind of talked about is in two pieces. It actually is in three pieces. One is kind of what does the Sunday morning huddle 2-minute drill time look like? Two, what could we do as a kind of a training and vision casting piece during our serve Sunday services? And then the third part is how does that affect kind of our monthly team gatherings? And so one of the things that we would love for you as coaches to be aware of is that we're going to be adding a couple of just kind of new shifts to our experienced team scenario for Sunday mornings. And so one of the things that will involve is the opportunity for our next steps, first impressions, hosts, and cafe teams to huddle together with our host team so that there will all be one kind of, again, that back of house huddle for everybody to be on the same page, again, just to get encouraged, hear some wins, celebrate that together. And that will take place at the exact same time that they normally do. So I'll confirm those times specifically for you, but I believe those times are at 8:30 and I think about 10:25, 8:30 before the first service and then 10:25 before the second service. So we'd love for you guys to encourage your team members to be a part of that. We also want to just kind of talk a little bit and cast a little vision this weekend for what we're thinking about as it relates to this new layer of experience connection. And so we're going to have breakfast for all of our team members, every experienced team member, during the first service and during the second service this weekend. And so if you serve during the first service or if your team members serve during the first service, we'd love for you to plan to be a part of that. It'll be about 9:10, 9:15-ish, and we'll go about 35 or 40 minutes. So we'll make sure that everybody can kind of be back in their spaces at the close of the first service. If it's second service, it will be about 10:55 to 11 to around 11 o'clock. We'll get started with that. And again, we'll have breakfast available. We just want to cast some vision for what these next 3 or 4 months will look like as we add this new layer of experience, connection, and engagement. And so that will be for this weekend. So we really would love for each of you as coaches to reach out to each of your team members who are scheduled for this weekend, and even those who aren't if they could, but especially those who are scheduled for this weekend. Invite them to plan to be a part of both services, their serve one and attend one, and this will be during their serve service. So so make preparations for that, and we will kind of share all the vision of this, what we're thinking, ask questions, and kind of actually even map out some specific dates about what that's going to look like, because we believe there's a cool kind of training piece that we would love to layer in to our experience, the Sunday mornings, our serve components of that, and we have a plan for that, and we'd just love to talk with you more about that. The third piece is just going to be adding kind of an open invitation, not an expectation, because we are excited that our individual teams, our hosts, our first impressions, and so on and so forth, are meeting as teams on a regular basis, but we would love to also extend kind of a more open invitation specifically to to like the entire experience team, including the auditorium guys, um, for a once a month gathering. So basically, if your team is not meeting for that month, or if your team would like to add that as an additional piece, again, there's no expectation, but there's an open invitation to just engage. Engage relationally. There'll still be kind of a small vision recap of maybe what we've learned from the previous kind of training Sunday. But we just believe that the more time we kind of get together and engage as a group, we can kind of cross train and learn from each other, learn each other's roles, but also just kind of do life together in that way. We believe it's going to make our team that much more effective. And so, again, would love for you to roll out and to ask each of your team members for this Sunday for them to plan during their serve service. And I know for the auditorium team that kind of adds a new layer to them. We're trying to figure out how we can kind of keep them in the loop on that. But specifically for your serve team service, to plan on being at breakfast. Again, we're going to have a great time. It's going to be life-giving and encouraging, not long, and we'll make sure we get everybody back in their space to be able to serve at the close of each service. But I just want to thank you guys for being willing to lead, and this is going to be an awesome investment season, I think, in our team members. We're really kind of preparing as we think about Easter and beyond how we can be the most effective in making this. Making people, as they walk in the door, feel fully engaged and begin that full engagement conversation with them, and that full engagement process with them starts in our interactions as we connect with them at the front door and in the lobby or in the foyer and every place that we get a chance to meet up with people. And so we believe that God is doing something incredible, and we want to prepare ourselves to kind of take that next step of walking alongside Him to create to engage people relationally in a way that helps them move more towards fully engaged followers of Jesus. And so I'm just excited that we get to lead this together. If you guys have questions, this may have kind of generated some, hey, where did this come from? Why are we doing this? Some more clarifying questions. I would love to answer those, and I am happy to answer those anytime, but specifically between now and Sunday, would love to engage with you in that way just to make sure that we are all kind of on the same page so that we're not coming into it wondering, hey, is there something I've missed or something that we need to do differently or things like that. So if you have questions, thoughts, concerns, anything that you need, please feel free to direct those my way, and I would love to set up a time to connect with you and kind of walk those out. So hope that this has been helpful. We're in week 2 of this Maxed Out series. We will have one little additional extra piece of this weekend. We will have ABCs of Financial Freedom books, which has been a huge resource for our church in terms of helping people kind of really clarify some major next things and some healing and helpful practices in their finances. We are going to have those available, one per family, for any family who has never received a copy of that book, and we will have those for free. We'll also have some workbooks available if that's a next step that you or someone that you may talk with would like to kind of have an additional resource to walk alongside the ABCs of Financial Freedom. That will be available for $5, and we'll have those in the foyer this weekend as well. In addition, Pastor Matt will be live with us at 9 o'clock this weekend, so just a little note about that. I would love to have as many of you guys there as possible for that. And beyond that, I think we're kind of on a more normal weekend. We're still kind of walking through Advance One Day and some of those kind of big things that are coming. And so I'm just excited about all of the cool things that are happening in this season in our church. And I know that last weekend, man, we spent a long time kind of debriefing and talking about what were kind of the practical implications of Pastor Chris Brown's message. If you didn't get a chance to hear that, man, I would really encourage you to go back and take a listen to last week's message. It was powerful, practical, and just helps us, again, reevaluate how we can be the most effective with our finances. And so, again, I love you guys. Just thankful that we get to serve together, and I want you to know that we're here to serve you. We're not here to just give directives, but we really want you to know we're here to serve you, to walk alongside you as you pastor and as you lead your teams. And we just believe that God is doing some incredible things as He leads through you into the lives of the team members that you get to serve with. So thanks, guys. Hope to see you this weekend, and look forward to this exciting next season as an experienced team together. Have a great day.